When you're printing on the roll, it's even more tricky to figure out how much each print size costs. So here's a super simple way to get those answers. Maybe you went ahead and purchased the sample pack, or you were able to touch prints of another artist, and so you have your media narrowed down. Go ahead and search your media and the width of your printer. For this example, I'm going to pretend that I have a 17-inch wide printer. In reality, I have a 24-inch wide Epson printer that is linked in my supply sheet. I searched the 17-inch canvas roll and this generic brand came up. First thing, always check the reviews and always sort it by most recent. Amazon's really bad about showing the top reviews, but those aren't always the most recent ones. This media type, that's where you'll put the name of the product, and then you'll also hyperlink it. You can do that by right-clicking the title and hitting insert link, or you can highlight the title and hold down Command K or Control K. Next, you're going to type in the print roll size. It might just be listed straight off the website in inches by feet. If you want to convert it, you can. If you don't know how to convert it or you don't have the time, you can also use the hyperlinked calculator. To get our price per square inch, we have to convert both of our units. So I'm going to use the hyperlink calculator for this. This roll is available in 17 inches by 40 feet. So I'm just going to type 70 inches, switch it to 40 feet, and then that gives me 8,160 square feet. So here in this yellow box, I'm going to type 8,160. Next, you're going to input the total price of the print roll. That includes tax and shipping. For my example, I get the free Prime shipping, so I'm just going to take the $41.99 and add on 6% Kentucky sales tax. You can also just add the item to your cart, get as far enough in the process without having to purchase, and that will also give you the total price. So landed, my price comes to $44.51. So underneath where it says print roll price, I'm typing $44.51. I usually try to have at least 3 decimal points on the price per square inch because sometimes the price is so low, like that is 5,000th of a cent. And then when that's added in, it automatically shows me my cost per square inch so I can see exactly how much it costs me to produce one single print. So an 8 by 10 costs 44 cents, 5 by 7 is 19 cents, 18 by 18 is $1.77. So this is super helpful in determining your ultimate print prices and also determining your overall profit. I created this calculator so I could also see what's the maximum number of prints I could get during a certain roll. Based on the roll, I could get approximately 102 8 by 10s out of it. Now that is, when I say approximate, I mean approximate. You might have a misprint, you might have to make some edits, you might do prints of different sizes, but just to see what could be. If you're curious as to the maximum amount of profit you could have per roll, and let's say you only wanted to produce one size, you would just take your current price times the maximum number that could be printed, subtract the cost of the roll, and that'll give you your overall profit. If I only did 8 by 10s, I would take the $41 times 102, because that's the most that could be printed, and that equals $4,182. Now, I have to subtract the cost of the roll with tax, which would be $44.51, and that leaves me with $4,137.49. I added another section to where you could calculate your cost per size. If you're using cut sheets, it's a bit more straightforward than by the roll because obviously you are limited to your maximum piece of paper. So I just went ahead and selected a piece of media from my PDF. It led me to the Moab Entrada rag, and it looks like this one goes up to 17 inches wide and 22 inches long. First things first, let's go ahead and add its name and then also a link directly to the product page. Remember, if you'd like to hyperlink it, just click the cell, right click, and select insert link, or you can hold down Control K or Command K. This just helps keep everything organized and just so you can easily get immediately back to the same product listing. Now that we have it hyperlinked, we're going to go ahead and type in the cut sheet size, which was 17 inches by 22 inches. And now when I go to do the area, I'm just clicking on my calculator because I'm tired. 17 inches by 22. When I calculate it, that gets me 374 square inches. This is important because that's the number that will be used to determine how many of the 4 by 6s or 8 by 10s or 5 by 7s you can possibly get on one sheet. Last but not least, I have to get the package price with shipping. That includes taxes, delivery, the whole 9 yards. You add it to your cart and get as far into the process as you can without paying. When I did that, I saw that for this box of 25 sheets, it would be $172.29. since we're doing the cut sheet, you, even if all you print is a 4x6 on your cut sheet, well, you have to use the whole sheet, so that's it. So that's why it says price per cut sheet. So for a 25 sheet box, each sheet costs $6.91. As soon as that information is entered in, then it goes into estimating the approximate maximum number that you could fit on one sheet of paper. When you're adding new cut sheet medias to this section of your sheet, you will have to do a little bit of tweaking. And that's just because the approximate maximum number can be printed. I went ahead and added a decimal point there because I didn't want it to round up. I didn't want you to have access to false information. It's really important to know that if you're printing on a 17-inch by 22-inch piece of paper, that you can only fit 4 8x10s. That 0.7 don't count. Somebody doesn't want a seventh of an 8x10. They want a full print, right? So that's why you have to go in manually and change those whole numbers. So I put like a little note to the side that says, hey, these two numbers have to match. And I try to make it as simple as possible, but all you'll do is just double click into the cell. And when you double click into the cell, you'll see a whole number. And you just got to make sure those two whole numbers match. So here I have a 15 and a 15, 15 and 15, and a 2 and 2. If you don't go in and manually make sure that those match, then your numbers are going to be a little wonky in terms of the maximum numbers that can be printed and truly knowing your cost per print. Again, you only have to do this when you are trying to figure out your costs for cut sheets. When it's by the roll, it's all automated. So overall, this is a really great way to see, what truly is the most cost-effective way to do your prints. So I'm just using the 8x10 as a measure. So when I go back over to the by the roll, if I wanted to do by the roll, the 24 by 60 foot, that one would cost me only 24 cents. If I wanted to try the chromatic canvas roll, that's like $3. Oh my gosh, it's so expensive. Another Somerset velvet on the roll is only 87 cents. So it's really great with showing you at a glance, what things break down to, because it can just be so overwhelming when you're trying to make sense of all the information. Not all the manufacturers have the same width. Not all the manufacturers have the same length. Not all the manufacturers follow the same pricing. And so it's really easy to get discombobulated. It could be really easy to make poor and costly mistakes. So hopefully this resource is a tool that you can use to make smarter decisions and not go in debt doing what you love.